Hello everyone and welcome to another bins trip. Now I know I said in the last video that I was going to try to get here early, but I did not. As you can see from how empty my bins is currently, I actually didn't get here until after noon, but you will see that I still was able to find some good stuff. And this was a Tuesday. I have decided that I am not going to be shopping on the weekend for a while. This is a pair of Tommy jeans, and it does say Tommy jeans on the inside. And I am not sure if this is a vintage pair of Tommy jeans or if it is a modern pair of Tommy jeans. But because it is a boot cut, it does have the Tommy on the back, and it is a size 14. I decided to go ahead and get them. My bins pricing, and the reason why I've been deciding to do this year is because I'm very fortunate that my bins pricing is at $1.29 when I get over 20 pounds, which is not very hard to do, especially if I pick up a couple of pairs of jeans, which I do in this bins trip. Now my cart is actually already half full, and it's full of books. Books is probably one of my favorite things to buy for resale. Not only do I sell them very consistently on eBay, as you guys see for my what sold videos, but they also sell very well for me on Whatnot. And I am going through and digging through here. And you can see that this looks like kind of a pick through bin. I actually decided to make it easier on myself and to go to the bin that looked already kind of empty, because it's just easier to shift everything over to do the way I like to pick bins. If you are new here, I actually go through every single piece of clothing in a bin. I will push everything to one side and I will go through every single piece. I am fortunate, as I mentioned before, one, this place is not that busy today, and two, I don't have to really fight for stuff here at my bins. Now, I have, as I mentioned earlier, decided not to go on the weekends because apparently the reason why I have not been having to fight for stuff at the bins is because I typically go on a Monday or a Tuesday. I do not go on the weekend. I recently went on a Saturday, and I will never do that again. Well, I will not do that again during the winter months. Maybe when it gets warm outside and people are doing stuff other than, thrifting. This is an Abercrombie & Fitch piece, and the reason why I'm looking over this so hard is because I wanted to see if it was a vintage piece or if it was a modern piece. It was from 2013. I was looking for the date code on it. Modern pieces will have a date code to say when it's from. It was from spring 2013, so I decided to let that go. I thought about picking this up. I did pick up a few scarves this day, which you will see later on, but I decided not to pick that one up because it didn't have a tag and I didn't know what it was made out of. It was sparkly, so bless me.
Thank you.
I was thanking the lady that said bless you. I wasn't thanking myself for saying bless you, but I have this habit where I cannot not say bless you when someone sneezes. I'm not necessarily a person of faith, but I feel it's more polite. Maybe that's just my southern upbringing, but I actually get really offended if nobody says bless you and I sneeze. This is a fake Dolce & Gabbana purse. I was checking it over just in case, but the hardware did not say it anywhere on it. Normally, if this was a true Dolce & Gabbana piece, it would have it on not only that big hardware, but also look at this tag. That is a janky looking tag. Not only did the zipper pull not say Dolce & Gabbana, none of the metal hardware you saw there said Dolce & Gabbana, so I just let it go. Actually, something that I've discovered as I've been thrifting at the bins more often, this is just a little hoodie, that when I see people like diving in and looking through the purses, they're not actually looking for the purses to buy them. Most of the people that I see looking at the bags are actually just going through the bags and like trying to find money and gift cards, which totally valid, but they're not actually looking at the purses to get them in their own, for their own reselling business. I just thought that was wild when I realized that they actually just go through the bag. They like put them all and they put them in their basket, and then they go through each individual packet and then they throw them back. They don't actually want to buy them. I just thought that was wild. So that's how come I'm able to find like some really good bags sometimes when I'm here, is because they're not actually buying them to resell them. This is a vintage jacket. It is from Stafford, which is not a brand I would normally pick up. But I'm seeing like the pockets are working great. I was checking to see if this was a surgeon's cuff. It is not. But this is a vintage piece, which is why I'm looking at it so hard. I was trying to make sure it had a size tag in it. It does. It is a 44 long, which has another thing going for it. It is a beautiful, beautiful wool coat. It is 100% lamb's wool. And what I'm doing here is I am super checking it over for holes, because anytime you get anything with wool, it might have a moth hole in it. But this was in really great condition. It is a 2-button blazer. So because it was in a current style, even though it is a vintage piece, had no flaws, even if it's a brand that I'm not really looking for, it has enough keywords going for it that I definitely believe I can sell that. Going through here, that's a little nightgown. I thought it was cute. But I'm just going through here. But yeah, I pick up a lot of books, and I picked up so many books this day. So many really good vintage books this day. I love my bins. Now, as far as my bins goes, I did mention earlier that it's $1.29 per pound if you get over 20 pounds. It's $1.59 if you do not get 20 pounds of clothing. Blankets and sheets do not, well, sheets do, but blankets don't. So if you get something like a big comforter or a throw blanket, this I actually put aside to look it up. I could not find a brand for this, but I ended up throwing that back. I've decided that what I'm going to do from now on is I'm actually going to like drape the stuff on the handle when I need to look it up, because it was too cold this day. It was like 34 degrees today. So I actually did have to have my coat on. I did mention earlier that I was going to try to figure out a way not to have to do that, but I needed to do that here. Now, I did actually end up picking a quilt at the bins. I don't know if I got footage of it or not, but quilts and comforters, they will price at the register. It's not a set price. They'll literally just look at what you have, and then they will ring it up. And the lady actually did not ring up my quilt. That quilt right there, that lady just threw it back. I will pick that up. This is a sheet. I was trying to see if it was a sheet or if it was some kind of robe or something. That quilt right there, I will hopefully pick it up in the video, but I did pick that up. That lady threw it back. They'll give a price, but I checked my receipt because I thought it was really cheap. This is me trying to grab the quilt. This is gorgeous. So I was checking it over really hard for flaws, because I was like, why in the world would that lady not want this beautiful quilt? There has to be something wrong with it. What I'm doing right now is I'm actually checking the stitching. I'm seeing if it is hand pieced or machine pieced. It is machine pieced, but it is hand quilted. So that means like all of those stitches you see inside on the back side, that's all done by hand. And you can tell because it would have uneven spacing. You know, even an adept sewist or tailor will not necessarily have perfectly even spacing, but I definitely picked that up. She didn't charge me for that blanket. I checked my receipt. I had the weighted price. I'd also picked up this Metallica shirt. I had the weighted price of all the clothing, but she did not charge me for that blanket at all. She set it aside. I was trying to see if that would fit me. It does fit me. I think she set it aside and she was going to ring it up, but I think she already thought she rung it up and just didn't ring it up. But so that was a free blanket, which is great, because I only paid $56 for everything. I don't think I mentioned that in the haul portion of this. This is a Ruka. That's how you pronounce it, or at least that's how I've heard people pronounce it. This is me checking for crunchy armpits. No, you're not going to get through a bins video without me saying that at least one time, because you'll like it so much. But the bins pricing here is wild, and checking out can take a long time, which is another reason why I'm not going here on the weekend, is because you have to separate everything out. Well, you don't have to, but they're going to make you when you get to the register. You have to separate all the clothing out. You have to separate the comforters and blankets out. You also have to separate your books. It's not like a set price for books or a set weight for books. It is all the soft covers are 25 cents. All the hard covers are 50 cents. So you have to separate those out. The home goods, like the large home goods, like if they have any furniture, those are priced separately. They have little stickers on them. Large furniture is actually set aside on the side. This is a maxi skirt. I am testing the elastic to make sure it's still good. It is vintage from the 90s. It is made in the USA. It is a maxi velvet skirt that absolutely went in my basket. And the price per pound for housewares. So that's like your plastic stuff. That is 79 cents per pound. So this is BB Dakota, which is a Nordstrom brand. And I just thought this was too cute to leave behind. So it went in my basket. It's also like so lightweight. That's not going to really cost anything. Now, I actually don't know how much plush cost here because I have never bought a single plush from the bins because there are some ladies that come here. That is underwear. There are some ladies that come here that only do plush, and their basket will be sky high, and they come here first thing in the morning. Now, I have been here when the doors open before, so the plush bins are always like half empty when I come here, like at 11 or 12 o'clock. They are serious plush resellers. They're serious ladies, and so I've never found anything that I could resell as plush, so I've never looked at that price. So I'm so sorry if you're a plush seller. I'm checking the armpits to make sure they're not crunchy. Did pass the armpit check. It did not pass the collar check. So what I'm looking for in the collar is to see if it has significant wash wear. That would not be solved with like a sweater shave. So that was the collar was starting to come apart up where the neck is. So that went back, that Nike piece. That's a beautiful piece there. It's again, I threw it back because it's too plain and it didn't have any tags in it for me to tell what it was. So despite it being a lightweight thing, it also had stains in it too. It had like some brown crunchy stains. And while I could have gotten those out, I was just like, it's not worth dealing with right now. I'm sure I will find some other beautiful goodies in here, and I do. So there was a bunch of these pieces that are some kind of field hockey team. So I guess somebody stopped playing field hockey and decided to donate all of their clothing. I'm not quite sure about that. This is a table runner. I was trying to figure out if it was a scarf or a table runner, because if it was a scarf, I would have picked it up. But this is a table runner, and it doesn't have a tag on it. It was gorgeous, though. I thought about picking it up for the fabric to do a project with it, but I have tons of fabric that I don't get a chance to use as is, so I just decided to leave that behind. This is a bra. I was trying to check the brand and the size. It was a Secret Treasures is the brand. The size is a triple D. That was underwear and me freaking out again. I'm normally pretty good about making sure, like, if I want to move underwear, I grab something else and use that to grab the underwear. But sometimes, when you're digging, you don't necessarily know what it is. This is actually No Boundaries, which is a Walmart brand. And this is so stinking cute. I almost picked this up just because I thought it was pretty.
That's so cute.
Like, I was just so shocked that this was Walmart. And I was like, I could totally do something with that if it didn't sell right away, but I left it behind, and I'm kind of regretting that a little bit now. The only reason I did not pick that up is because, as you saw there, I was doing the stretch test. If that was actually pure denim and not the stretchy denim, I would have picked that up just for the fabric, because I could have made like a bag out of that. But the stretchy denim, especially with Walmart brands, I've noticed like they do a high spandex content. It's not just like, 1 or 2%. It's like 7 or 8% because spandex is cheaper than the cotton. And so I decided to just let that go. Hopefully somebody else picked that up for themselves because it is cute. That's me blessing somebody else because they sneezed. This is something I set aside to look up later because I don't really sell pajamas or nightwear. And this actually is a brand called Bedhead. It is a Bedhead Disney collaboration. They currently don't have any of those up for sale right now on their website. But Bedhead is a brand where their pajama sets typically range over $100. Their top and bottom sets. I also did look in all of these bins surrounding me. You're not going to see it because I only go through this one bin. I looked in all the bins surrounding me if I could find the pants, because of course it's going to sell better as a set, but I could only find this top. So I was trying to figure out what this was. It's a dress.
Oh, it's a dress. It's see-through.
You're getting Echo Bob here. But I did look everywhere for that, and I did end up picking up that because even as just a top, it is worth reselling. So I will I definitely was happy about this. This felt amazing. And I looked at it, and it's Supima cotton. This is L.O. Bean. L.O. Bean, Eddie Bauer, Columbia are all 3 outdoor brands that I wouldn't necessarily pay retail thrift prices for, but I will absolutely pick them up at the bins, even the basics, especially if it's a high quality material like Supima cotton, because they'll sell for me. They're not going to sell for a whole lot, $10, $15, but they do consistently sell for me. This is a Polo Ralph Lauren top, but it was severely discolored under the arms, so that got left behind. And here we go. This is a nice little turtleneck cable knit sweater, but it is not necessarily a great brand. Now, if I was a true volume seller where it was like, I think I can make money on this, I could list it. I wish I could be that person. Unfortunately, because of my disabilities, I can't just be a listing fiend all the time. This is gorgeous. This is giving me Golden Girls vibes. It is from the 80s. It is an Italian square scarf. This is me checking to see if there's any holes in it. It is not a hole. It's actually weave. So if it was a hole, that would mean the threads in the warp and the weft would have been cut or broken. That was just like they've become out of alignment. So that means there's not really an issue with the scarf. So that went in my pocket. South of the border, if you don't know, if you're not from this area, is a giant compound of kitschy stuff south of the border of North Carolina. So the North Carolina, South Carolina border has the store south of the border in South Carolina because of fireworks ordinances. So North Carolina and Virginia, you can't get the quote-unquote good fireworks. You have to go to a different state for that. So it was common in high school for us for 4th of July to make a trip down to South Carolina, to south of the border, to buy fireworks, and then drive all the way back up here. So that way we had the good fireworks for celebration. This is an Eddie Bauer piece. Like I just said, anything Eddie Bauer I will pick up to resell. That's in good condition that I think would do well. And that is definitely, that quilted piece definitely will do well. Quilted is still popular right now. So definitely pick this up. I do kind of regret not getting this for myself, not for resale. The only reason I did not pick this up is because several of the cotton threads were broken. So this one, it didn't have technically any holes yet, but you can see there's several of the threads all throughout the blanket are broken. But this is my favorite type of blanket. Okay. These cotton blankets, these like thermal, tightly woven cotton blankets are my absolute favorite blankets. I actually, before I got diagnosed with POTS, I don't have good temperature control in my body. So I'll either run way too hot or I'll be running way too cold. And in high school and in college, I would carry one of these blankets around with me everywhere. I didn't care. I'm one of those people that don't care what other people think. And in the wintertime, I would have my blanket with me. It wasn't like, a security thing. It was, I was cold thing. So this is a Patagonia t-shirt that was severely faded and had a lot of wash wear, or I would have picked this up, but it was a little bit too worn for me to do anything with it. So I'm still a little bit sad because that was like a perfect blanket, but it already had so many condition issues. Like, it didn't have any stains on it. I also checked for that. It was just, there were too many broken threads. So I know that with as much as I would use that blanket, it would fall apart pretty quickly after I bought it. But oh well, maybe the next time. I did find one cotton jacquard cotton blanket. I just said cotton twice, 4 times now. I found a jacquard blanket that I did keep from the bins here. That does have a little stain on it that I could not get out. I got most of the rest of it out, but there's still a small spot on it, but I don't care because it's amazing and I love it. But yeah. Now, I know some people feel a little uncomfy about picking up linens at the bins, and I will say to you, it's totally valid concern to have because critters do live on clothes. So if I get anything that's linen, that goes immediately in my washing machine on hot with nothing else. Because critters, it has to be in a hot environment of 145 degrees or more. So don't worry, I do put it in a hot wash before it goes on any of my bedding. Because trust and believe. Now, I did look that up. That was actually not a vintage one. That was a more modern Disney princess one. This is Levi Strauss Signature, which is one of the lowest lines. Like the Signature line and the Denizen line are the two lowest line for Levi Strauss. So I just tossed that aside. Also, it's not that time. Chris, if you're watching, I know I do this in the haul, but it's a size medium. I just immediately thought of friend of the channel, Chris, when I saw that, because dinosaurs are cool and I know they love dinosaurs and I don't know what size they are. This is a bootleg Iron Maiden t-shirt. It is a modern print of this. So I did end up looking this up just to make sure. But I think this is something like somebody printed off at home and then did it, but I had to make sure because this is not quite the right graphic. The graphic is very wonky. So this is either somebody did it at home or a drop shipper did it, or it was a Chinese knockoff or something, but it was not a real Iron Maiden piece. So that got left behind. This I also had to look up. This is vintage actually. This is on a vintage beefy tag, and it's just one of those tourist shirts from Maine. And I did go look it up to see if there was like anything similar. Like if this was something that said like Cape Cod or Martha's Vineyard on it, I would definitely have picked it up even with those two little stains. But because it had the two little stains, then I couldn't really find any comps for like a Maine shirt. I actually did throw that back. But I do look at that stuff up. Like if I'm not sure, I try to make sure I look that stuff up. That's Aeropostale. This is Forever 21. I thought it was so cute though. Forever 21 does have like some really nice stuff if you go in there, and their prices are reasonable. So I totally understand why people shop there. I mean, when I was a teen, I totally shopped there, and sometimes something will catch my eye in the window, but their sizing is definitely not for tall, curvy ladies. I have noticed, when I was severely underweight as a teenager, yeah, I could fit into their stuff even being as tall as I was, but not as I am now. So that's okay. Cute little cardigan sweater, but I think that was also Forever 21. This is just a basic t-shirt. I was checking to see if it was vintage. It is not. So before I give you to other Bob to do the haul, I'm going to come around here and show you how full of books my cart is. But here you go. Welcome to the haul, y'alls. So I did manage to pick up 20 pounds of goodies at the bins. I also managed to pick up a really beautiful handmade quilt where it is machine stitched together, machine pieced, but hand quilted. So that'll go up on eBay. And I also picked up a ton of books, and those will go up on Whatnot and or eBay depending on what the book is, because I primarily only sell science fiction and fantasy over on Whatnot, but I picked up a lot of stuff. But I did pick up 20 pounds of goodies, and these are gonna go on Whatnot. I have a goal this year to do 50 Whatnots, and mostly because of the fact that I have learned that being consistent on the platform, just like with any reselling platform, you will reap better rewards. There's also a lot more organic traffic on the app than there was, when I joined in 2021. Gosh, that sounds like such a long time ago now. And also I wanted to pass on some savings to you all, because I know not everybody has a cheap sourcing opportunity near them, and thrift stores have raised their prices. I'm very fortunate that if I get 20 pounds or more at the bins, in my bins, it's $1.29 per pound, which is incredibly inexpensive. So this is a cheap way to get inventory for yourself if you're a fellow reseller, or just to get something cheap for yourself if you like what I have to show you and for your own personal use. Because I have done that. I did find my last bins trip a bunch of shoes, and I decided to keep a pair because I actually recently recycled the last pair of Chucks that I had. They finally got a little bit too worn, and yeah, so I recycled them. I could not believe I finally found a pair of Chucks in my size. It's great. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the first thing, speaking of Nike, is this women's large Nike top. You know, I pick up Nike whenever I find it at the bins. Doesn't matter what style. This is more of like their lifestyle style, where it's just like, look, I'm wearing Nike. It is cute. It is a nice like cotton blend, and it's gray, so of course I picked that up. This was a throwback. This is Bob Timberlake, I think is the name on this thing. The reason I picked this up is because this is a vintage style that is super popular right now because 90s and Y2K is in. It is a quilted pair of shorts. I have bought and sold multiple brands in the quilted shorts, and they always sell really well for me. They normally sell between $20 and, you know, $50. It honestly depends on the brand, because in the 90s, like, several brands came out with their own style of this. This is very popular 90s Y2K style. And so I picked those up. I don't know if Bob Timberlake is like the guy who made Timberlake. I have no idea. So the next item was a throwback from another reseller. It is Papillon, which is just a accessories brand, and this is an acrylic shawl. But look how pretty this is. It's a nice like red and gray like poncho style shoulder shawl, shrug, whatever you want to call it. Very boho, very cute. I just thought that this was beautiful, and I couldn't believe somebody threw that back. It doesn't have any holes in it. It does have just a little bit of pilling, but a sweater shaver would fix that right up, and I don't know. I think it's beautiful. I also normally pick up fabric. I don't normally. If I like the fabric, I will pick it up at the bins. This is not going up for sale. This is going into my stash of fabric that I'll never get to use because I'm too busy. But I just thought it was beautiful. This is from Joann's. It is a cotton quilting. It's a quilting weight of cotton. So it's pretty lightweight. There's definitely probably 1.5 yards of this. So, you know, I could make something like clothing out of it, but am I really going to want to do the effort of like pattern matching this? Probably not, but who knows, maybe one day I'll be able to do the sewing channel. But I always pick this up because if you are somebody who is crafty and sews, you know how expensive fabric is, and I'd much rather pay $1 for 1.5 yards of quality cotton than to give Joann $15 for the same thing. So this I looked everywhere for. I checked all 4 bins for the pants for these. So there, I only have the top, but it is a Disney Bedhead collaboration. If you don't know, Bedhead is actually a really decent reselling brand, or a brand to resell in the pajama department. And these retail, like if you got the pajama set, for $120. The Disney collaboration actually would go for a little bit more than that. But I only found the top. This feels amazing, by the way. It is a size large, so no bottoms to match the top, but I did find the top, and I would be willing to resell that on my own, which, by the way, anything that doesn't sell and whatnot, I just list on eBay. So everything that I am showing you is something that I would resell on eBay myself. Like, the reason why I'm doing it this way is because, 1, I want to be more consistent selling and whatnot. 2, I know that not everybody has a low cost of goods sourcing opportunity near them, especially in the dead of winter. Many people have snow, so are snowed in at this point in the year. So this would be a cheap sourcing opportunity for you if you're a fellow reseller. And then 3, you know, everything I would be happy to list for myself, so it's providing fresh inventory for me, because I'm currently only doing this one thrift trip a week, and everything else I am like listing from my absolutely massive death pile. So there is that. All right, I actually found a little bit more men's than normal this time, which is great. So this is a vintage piece. The brand is Bat Sport
B-A-T Sport. And it's like, this is 90s. And you can see it is velour. It's a velour varsity style hooded, like full zip jacket, and it is a 4X. So these are selling on eBay between $25 and $50. It just depends on the size, the style, and the brand. So, I mean, it's a 4X. 4X seems to move pretty quickly no matter what it is, just because it's such a limited size and people are looking for that. I actually picked this up for Chris. So Chris, if you're watching, Boldly Grow, I don't know what size you are. So I guess shoot me a comment or DM me on Instagram. But I picked this up specifically with you in mind. It's a men's size medium, and I saw this, and it's the bodacious period. So if this will fit you, let me know. And you want it, let me know. And I won't put it up to the general population. But if this won't fit you, then I will just put it up for sale. But it's just a print on demand shirt. But I thought it was amazing because it's like 80s style 80s style t-shirt, and I just thought it was funny. So I'm going to keep that separate just in case Chris wants that. But I immediately thought of you when I saw that. All right, we have a scarf. This is an Italian cotton scarf, cotton lace scarf. The brand is Symphony. It is vintage, and it is gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful lace crochet. I don't know what you would call this. I don't know how to do knitwear. I can sew it together. I don't know how to and I can fix it, but I don't know how to knit or crochet. So I just thought that this was gorgeous, and the fact that nobody picked this up is crazy to me because it's such a cheap and easy listing. Another thing I couldn't believe nobody picked up, I guess they just didn't know what it was or thought it was broken. The brand is Beware. It is a vintage brand. This is 100%, this is made in the USA, and this is probably from the early 90s. And I'm guessing they saw this and just thought it was broken, but this is a halter top. And this ties around, you put it on, you put the tube on your body, and then you tie this around your neck, and that is how this thing stays up. And these are leather, and this is wood. This is actually a really cool, like, quintessential 90s top. It's got that chevron-y pattern. It is semi-sheer, so you do you, but this is a 90s piece, and I could not believe any of the Depop girlies didn't want to snap this up. It is also a size small. So this would look amazing on Karen. I absolutely could put that up, and it absolutely would sell for me. Another thing that I don't understand why nobody picked these up, this is a pair of 725 high-rise boot cuts, and they are size 18. And it is a dark wash, and you know, light washes are what is currently on trend, but it is a high-rise, it is a boot cut, which is on trend, and it is a size 18, and these are immaculate. They also don't have any puckering, which is amazing. So I picked that up. That's great. And Eddie Bauer, I pick up Eddie Bauer whenever I find it at the bins. This is a size large, so I think this is a men's size large. Yeah, this is a men's size large. It's brown, it's quilted, so it's a brown quilted large, like quarter snap. I guess that's what you would call this. I don't know. But it does have the kangaroo pocket in the front. It's trying to be Patagonia, I guess, there, but you know, I would easily be able to sell that. This is gorgeous. This is from the 80s. Absolutely beautiful piece. This is 100% polyester, and it's from Specialty House, and this is also made in Italy. So a vintage 80s scarf, two vintage scarves here, both of them made in Italy. Look at the colors on this though. Beautiful square scarf. Again, if you're not interested in scarves, I rarely sell scarves when I put them up on Whatnot, just like I rarely sell the hats that I put them up on Whatnot. But if you are a volume style reseller, which I am, both hats and scarves are super easy listings. They're normally super like not picked up at the bins because I guess they're looking for more substantial piece. But like this cost probably like a quarter or less in the total amount of Scheme, and I can sell this for $10 to $15. And it is a brand and Italian, and it's colorful, and it's from the 80s, so probably up in the higher region of that. And I sell them all the time. You guys see them in my sold videos. So I you know, that's just if you have a bins near you, that is something I suggest, is like get down to the nitty-gritty at the bottom, and you might find some quick and easy listings for yourself that get overlooked. This is an LL Bean. This is a women's size large in this beautiful Barbie pink. It does have slightly longer sleeves. So soft. This is Supima cotton, which if you felt 100% cotton shirt and you felt 100% Supima cotton shirt, you absolutely would be able to feel the difference. It's just smoother and softer. It's a finer fiber, but absolutely like lovely basic, and the basics that people wear every day. And it's also LL Bean, so that probably would have cost like what, $30, $35 on the website. I throw it up for $15. It's a large size, and it's Barbie pink, which pink is still very in right now. Totally would go up pretty easy. This I just thought was pretty. It's BB Dakota, which is sold at Nordstrom, and it is an extra small, and BB Dakota is a Steve Madden brand. I just thought it was pretty, and I couldn't leave it behind. It is extra small, but it's got the cute little ruffles. It's sleeveless. It's got the ditzy floral. It is kind of like a dark ditzy floral, which extra bonus points there. So the fact that this also probably costs like less than 50 cents, absolutely gonna pick that up. Super cute. Another thing I couldn't believe nobody picked up. This is California Crush. This is made in the USA, and it is a size large, but we have a 90s maxi velvet skirt. Now, I will let you know, if you buy and sell vintage, or if you're interested in buying and selling vintage, anytime you find anything with an elastic waist, okay, this is an elastic waist pull-on maxi skirt, you need to take this and you need to hold it up to your ear and you need to pull. If you hear any kind of crunching to where it sounds like you stepped on some Rice Krispies on the floor, that piece is done. Throw it back, because that means, or, you know, if you're handy and can sew, you're gonna have to replace the elastic. What that means is that it's like dry rotted and it's crumbling. So the latex in the elastic is breaking down, has broken down, and is no longer going to bounce back. So throw it back, unless you can fix it, in which case you've just got yourself a project. But this, the elastic's in great shape. It makes the sproing sound instead of the crunch sound. So thought this is amazing. It's a size large, 90s elastic, maxi velvet black skirt. All the keywords like goth, dark academia, 90s, velvet, like emo, grunge, all of those things. Super easy listing for me. But again, this is going to go up on Whatnot first. Men's size medium. This is a Ruka t-shirt with the big RVCA, which is what the teens want. They want to be able, this brand had another resurgent because again, with the 90s Y2K, all the brands that I would have worn in high school are cool again. Or, you know, I guess for me, they never went out of style, but I picked this up because it was, I know I could sell this very easily. As I just mentioned, hats get overlooked quite frequently. This is a Virginia Tech beanie. My brother is a Virginia Tech alumni. He has a degree in chemical engineering. But this has the hokey. It's got the bright colors. This wouldn't sell for a whole lot because the Virginia Tech is very oversaturated as far as merch goes. But quick and easy listing, front, back, size tag, we're done. This, this I kind of picked up for myself, so if it doesn't sell, I might keep it. It is a Divided, which is a H&M brand, and it is a cropped Metallica t-shirt. This is a size small, but it's an oversized small, and, you know, I wear a lot of black. I just thought it was really cute. I don't know. I'm sure this had something to do with Stranger Things, but there is that. I also picked up this. Now, I wouldn't normally pick up Stafford because Stafford is, I think, sold at JCPenney or Dillard's or one of those department stores. But this is a vintage piece. It is 100% wool and it is made in the USA or tailored in the USA. Hold on. It is a size 44. It's a 44 long, and it is 100% wool. It's 100% lamb's wool, and it is made in the USA. It says tailored in the USA, so sometimes it says tailored in the USA, but like there's some other caveat there. And it is a brown 2-button. So I picked it up because it's 2-button. If this was a 3-button jacket, I would not have picked it up, despite it being a beautiful vintage wool coat, because 3 buttons take forever to sell, because that's more of like a outdated, it's more of a 90s style, and it's not fashionable in menswear right now. So 2-button, 44 L, so that's 44 long, which means it's 44 tall. It used to be 44, it used to be long, it used to be big and long instead of big and tall, so I don't know why they decided to change that. So it just means that the sleeves are going to be longer and that the trunk of the jacket's going to be longer as well. So picked that up. More menswear. I picked this up also because I was confident I could sell it. This is just a modern t-shirt. The brand is Poetic Justice. It is a 3X, and it is a Tupac Andy Warhol kind of style print. You know, I think this probably retailed for like 20 bucks, but I'm pretty sure I can resell it. There are plenty of people trying to resell it, and there are plenty of solds of this exact same pattern. So, and if not, I could just, if it doesn't sell on Whatnot, I could easily take that to the buy sold trade. They would definitely snap it up. So there is that. This is a pair of Tommy jeans. I hemmed and thought about this because I'm not sure if this is vintage or not. I've not seen this tag before with the Tommy jeans. The reason why I decided to go ahead and get it was, one, it is a boot cut, and 2, it is a size 14, and 3, it has Tommy obnoxiously on the butt. So those 3 things are the reason why I decided to pick it up. Is it also a high rise? Yeah, that's a high rise because that's 11. So it had several things going for it that I was like, okay, well, if it doesn't sell on Whatnot, I'm pretty sure I can definitely sell these. So I will have to do some more research on it if I go to sell it on eBay, just to see if it's vintage or not, because I'm not 100% sure on that. This, I think, is vintage. This is St. John's Bay, and this is sold at JCPenney's. The reason I picked this up is because it is a shacket. It is a denim shacket with fleece lining. So it is a fleece line denim shacket, and this is also a 4XL. So this was pretty heavy, but it's in great shape, and I saw several of these listed and several of these selling, so I paid probably like, you know, $2.50 for this, and I definitely could sell it for $25 or more. I don't know, I have to like extra look hard at that, but fleece line denim shacket and a 4X. That's awesome. These are new tags, which is why I picked them up. It's a pair of Old Navy pants. They are size 3X as well, but these are 3X in women. And it is a gray pair of paper bag waist cargo pants in green, which is why you know I picked it up, because it's green. I saw that and immediately was drawn to it. This was sold on oldnavy.com, so it doesn't have the original retail price on it. But here it is. Definitely gonna pick that up because it's new with tags. And then I think this is the last thing, yes. This is the last thing. This was also another reseller's throwback. This is a Life is Good full zip hoodie. And this was in amazing shape. It is a men's size small. This is really soft too. But I picked this up because I have really good luck selling Life is Good stuff. And I've actually never found any of their outerwear before. So, well, I found one piece, but I've not found a hoodie from them. So figured I'd give it a try. But as I mentioned, everything will be for sale on Whatnot. I will put a link down below for you guys. And then if I'm really good, I'll put it in a pinned comment. But I hope to see you. It'll be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. That is when I'm going live every Thursday for this year, except for, you know, Christmas and Thanksgiving. So we're just gonna not do that. But if that's gonna be where I am regularly, in case you want to bookmark those shows so you don't miss one, or you're not, don't be on Whatnot at all. These will be up on eBay if they don't sell there, or I can just see you in the next video. Until then, bye. Bye.
Hero, hero, I wanna be a hero, hero.